Hello and welcome. This is Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is day 8 of the Spellbinders Crafty Advent Calendar, and so we are going to open the window here. Now, last time I created a card base, but I didn't finish it because I didn't want to use some of the previous supplies on it. So we shall see if this one is going to work for that. And I think it is. It's a little mushroom die, and I have a weakness for mushrooms, whether it's dies or stamps. I tend to love them all. So I think I'm going to take this mushroom die. I'm going to die cut a bunch of cardstock scraps, and I'm going to put it on that background that was created in the last video. If you didn't see the last one, I will link it at the end, and you can watch that one. So the background that I created is a little bit more bright than I would have liked for putting these die cuts on, but I think it's going to look cute anyways. They're just not going to pop out quite as much as they would if I made a little bit more of a subtle background. So all of these pieces fit together really, really nicely, and there's a nice large mushroom as well as a small one. I did all the die cutting off screen. It was very easy to know exactly what dies to use and what not, or which to use for what. So there is an outline die that I did in kind of a creamy tan. And then I put the insert with the little polka dots or the little dots there that get cut out. So that gets cut twice, once without the insert and once with the insert. And from then on, we're just doing a bunch of layering of the dies. I'm gluing everything together with the Distress Collage medium. I like it because it dries clear and it dries matte. So if anything happens to ooze out, if I get a little bit too much glue somewhere, you're never going to notice. I also like it because a liquid glue allows you to shimmy and move things a little bit, and because it takes a few seconds for it to dry. So if you decide that you want something shifted a little bit, it makes it very easy to change the placement like I just did there with the top of that mushroom. Once I have that whole mushroom done, I'm going to work on the second one. I like to put an acrylic block on top of that to hold it down while it's drying. It just makes sure that everything stays flat, as well as having good contact with each of the papers so that it will dry nicely. Once again, with the second one, it was very easy to know exactly what was die cut where. There's less pieces for the second one than the first one. The first one has an extra little piece that goes below the mushroom there, and the second one doesn't have that piece because it's just a little bit of a different perspective. I chose to do kind of a creamy tan with a red mushroom cap top, but the nice thing with mushrooms is they come in so many different colors and combinations that you can really have fun with your color combinations, and then you can even do ones that aren't realistic as well. I chose to do these with foam pop dots so that they pop up a little bit. And once I have those pop dots on there, I'm actually going to take the head of the mushroom and I'm just going to use my fingers a little bit and just curl it so it has a little bit more curvature to it. I'm going to do that with both the big one and the small one, just for something a little bit different. It doesn't necessarily need to be done this way. I always like when I'm doing flowers or something natural just to curve it a little bit. So that's why I'm doing that with these ones. I'm also going to put the small mushroom on a foam pop dot as well. You could, if you want to, put one flat on your card or on your surface and then use one with the foam pop dots so that you have different dimensions with them, or even use foam pop dots that have some different thicknesses. I think it makes a really, really cute card. Like I said before, had I known about this die ahead of time, I probably would have done a little bit of a lighter background, like maybe multiple shades of brown or something like that, or multiple shades of green. But I do still think it looks really cute on there. I chose to put some stickles inside the dots of the mushroom to add a little bit of sparkle. Another option would have been to put some glossy accents in there, or even little bits of texture paste to have just kind of a little bit of a different texture in there. Thank you so much for joining me for day 8. I will see you tomorrow for day 9.